You are 16. Dust coats your sandals. The sun hasn't even risen yet. Someone presses a leather satchel into your hands. Inside is a single scroll, sealed in red wax. "Break that seal," the old writer says, "and you break your neck." You nod. You don't fully believe him. Not yet. You're too busy staring at the wax, wondering what could possibly be worth guarding this closely. This is the Cursus publicus, Rome's imperial relay network. The historian Suetonius recorded that Emperor Augustus built this system so orders and news could travel as fast as a rider could carry them, station after station, across an empire wider than anything the ancient world had ever organized. You are now part of that machine. A tabularius, a courier of the state, not a soldier, not a senator, just a boy with fast legs and a sealed scroll. Your first message is nothing. A tax report, 40 miles down the coast road, 3 relay stations, 1 afternoon of riding. Easy. You run it anyway like it's the fall of Rome itself because you don't know yet what urgent actually feels like in your chest. You're 18 now. 2 years in, and your legs know every rut in the Via Appia better than they know your own bed. You've learned the rhythm of the job. Ride hard to the next mutatio, swap your exhausted horse for a fresh one, drink water standing up, keep moving before your muscles remember how tired they are. The historian Kolb, who has spent decades reconstructing this network from surviving milestones and inscriptions, found that a well-run relay could push a message nearly 50 miles in a single day. 50 miles. On horseback and foot, centuries before an engine ever existed. But do you know what 50 miles feels like in your legs by the time the sun goes down? You're 22. Promoted. No longer local tax reports. Now you carry sealed orders between provincial governors, the kind of paperwork that shapes who gets taxed, who gets punished, who gets sent to the frontier. Bigger stakes, bigger risk. Break a seal, and it isn't just your career that ends. It's treason. Lose a message to bandits on a mountain pass, and soldiers you'll never meet might die because their orders never arrived in time. There's a badge for this rank now, a small bronze diploma stamped with the emperor's own seal. Proof that you're allowed to requisition fresh horses at any station along your route. Show it at a mutatio, and the station master drops whatever he's doing. Without it, you're just a stranger begging for a horse. With it, you're the empire itself, arriving 12 hours ahead of schedule. That difference isn't small. It's the whole job. One night, riding a stretch of road through Thrace, you hear hoofbeats behind you that aren't your own. You don't look back. You just ride. You make it, barely. You hand the satchel over with your hands still shaking, and the officer receiving it doesn't even ask why. He's seen riders like you before. Shaking hands are just part of the job nobody bothers to write down in the official records. You're 29, and the message strapped to your chest this time isn't paperwork. It's war. A frontier province has been breached. Somewhere north, along the Danube, tribes have crossed the river, and a legion camped miles away has no idea. You are the only thing standing between what their general knows and what he desperately needs to know. Every mile you save is a soldier who lives to see tomorrow. Every mile you lose is one who doesn't. You don't stop for food this time. You eat bread in the saddle, one hand on the reins, your legs bruised raw from 3 straight days of riding. Is this what it always comes down to in the end? One exhausted rider deciding who lives? 31 relay stations later, soaked in sweat and road dust? You deliver the warning 6 hours before the ambush would have sprung. Nobody throws you a parade for that. Couriers don't get parades, ever. But somewhere, men you will never meet go home to their families, instead of a mass grave on a riverbank, and not one of them will ever learn your name. You sleep for 14 hours straight afterward. When you wake, the first thing you feel isn't pride. It's your knees and your shoulders. And a dull ache behind your eyes that never quite goes away again. You're 38 now, senior cursor. You train the new riders coming up behind you the same way an old man once trained you, on a dark road with a single warning about a wax seal. At 45, you're given the route nobody else wants. The mountain passes into the eastern provinces, where the road narrows to a single horse's width, and the drop on one side is close to 100 feet. Winter storms strand riders here for days. 2 couriers before you never made it through at all, and nobody ever found their satchels. But you know something the younger riders don't. You know which ridge holds ice a full month longer than the map suggests, and which shepherd's hut will shelter you when the wind turns. Knowledge like that isn't written on any milestone. It's the only thing standing between you and the two men who came before you. And then comes the message that every courier in the empire both dreads and secretly waits for. The emperor is dead. You are carrying the words that will decide who rules next, and in the wrong hands, in the wrong province, at the wrong hour, those words could ignite a civil war that swallows a generation. Other riders are moving too, right now, tonight, along different roads, carrying different versions of the same news to different generals with different ambitions. Whoever arrives first shapes what happens next. You don't know that for certain. You just feel it, in the pit of your stomach, every mile. What do you do with that kind of power, strapped inside a leather satchel? You ride like the empire depends on it, because it genuinely does. You deliver it in time. The succession holds. Whatever chaos might have unfolded doesn't, not this time, not because of any general or senator standing in a marble hall, but because one tired man on an exhausted horse simply got there first. Not every empire stayed this lucky forever. The historian Procopius, writing generations later during Emperor Justinian's reign, described how the once formidable relay system had decayed into something slow and unreliable, starved of funding and stripped of its horses, and how that decay let disasters unfold that speed alone might once have prevented. You are living in the version of Rome where the system still works, where the sound of your hooves on stone still means something, where you still matter to people you will never meet. You're 54 now. Your knees ache on cold mornings in a way they never used to. Your eyes aren't sharp enough anymore to read a milestone at a gallop. Somewhere along the way, 38 years slipped past while you were busy counting miles instead of years. But the empire has given you something to trade for all of that. Knowledge. Every relay station between here and the Danube, memorized. Every shortcut through the mountain passes that shaves an hour off a desperate ride. Every trick for reading a road by moonlight when there's no torch left to spare. How many messages did you carry in the end? You stopped counting decades ago. It was never really about the number anyway. So one morning, dust already on your sandals, sun not yet risen, you press a leather satchel into a 16-year-old's hands. Inside is a single scroll, sealed in red wax. "Break that seal," you tell him, and you break your neck. He nods. He doesn't fully believe you. Not yet. He's too busy staring at the wax, wondering what could possibly be worth guarding this closely. But he will believe you eventually, because somewhere down that same dusty road, in a province he hasn't even seen yet, an empire is waiting on the sound of his hooves, the exact same way it once waited on yours.